We're here with the. All right. Have you actually processed this yet? The 2019 Hambletonian champion.
Yeah, it's processed now, but
Bob
it
McClure.
took months to do so.
Do you go by Robert now because you're fancy,
No.
or is it just
No,
Bob?
it's
Always
just
Bob
just
McClure.
Yeah.
When did it, like, that night, that day, when you traveled back here? When did it actually hit?
It was weeks later.
Weeks
when
later.
I started to realize just how. I mean, I knew it was something big, but it doesn't sink in right away, and it took me weeks before the shock wore off.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm sure this is something forever. People will be coming up to you and probably remembering this race. Probably people you never even met.
Yeah,
coming up, want to shake your hand, right?
It'll probably be the highlight of my career going forward. I mean,
unless you win another one.
Well, that's the pinnacle, though. I mean, the connections I won it for, it can't beat it. They've done a lot for me, and
That's true.
the horse has done a lot for me. So it's going to be pretty hard to top that
Pretty
ever.
hard to top it. Because you don't train, right?
No,
You're just a prima donna catch driver.
just a prima donna.
That's it. So
That's it.
you and Luke have established an awesome relationship right up here.
Yeah, me, Luke, and the Determination Stables, we've got a great partnership, and it's just great that on that weekend, it all came together.
So leading up to the race, would you say it was kind of similar to Marion Marauder a little bit, where he was up here and dominating up here, and then nobody kind of really gave, I don't want to say gave credit because everybody thought the horse was good, but really thought like, can he win it?
I wouldn't compare the two because I think Green Shoe, he was a big, the
But we had
attention-
Southwind Frank.
Yeah, I guess so.
2-year-old
but I mean,
champ, stuff like,
But I think Green Shoe's going to go down history, probably one of the fastest trotters of all time. So he took a lot of attention.
And you're the only one that beat him. Well, one of the only ones.
Well, no, he got beat by before, but nobody was expecting him to get beat that day. So to play the role of upsetter, it's kind of nice.
Going into the race, let's watch the first heat. You were in heat number 2. Okay, so you were in with Green Shoe.
Yeah.
Okay, so going into the heat, I mean, it's going back to limbs next week, but this is the first and probably only time the horse is going to race double heat, right?
Yeah, that was it.
So,
we didn't know about the futurity at the time, but this was looking like the only time.
Was the plan just to make the final?
No, obviously you want to win the final and secure a post draw, but I was in with Green Shoe, so
You were in
it
with
was
Green Shoe.
kind of.
You don't want to do anything stupid, right? You don't
Yeah.
want to.
I wanted to make the final, but I also wanted to let everybody know he was there.
Okay.
I didn't want to just get in with a fifth. I wanted everybody to realize,
Because again, up here,
Yeah.
what races? He had won the good times.
And he won the good times of limb. He was locked in the final in a close second, but he could have
Right,
won.
right.
But he dominated the OSS.
The OSS.
And, at 2, he was the O'Brien Award winner, and I felt like he was flying under the radar, but Luke had done a really good job pointing him to this race.
Is he a nice horse? Like
He's-
as far as he's good to drive.
Perfect.
So he makes your job easy.
perfect. Yeah, he drives himself pretty well.
Okay.
He's a perfect horse.
So we're behind the gate, and what post do you have in the
Rail.
Okay, so you got the rail. So good spot. We're watching from pilot discretion. I had the head camera on.
Our
So,
second elimination.
this is their
for the
recap.
$1 million Hambletonian final. Now here's the start. Watch Green Shoe in the middle of the pack there throw his head a couple of times. That had to give Mr. Sears a couple of fits, but he gets him away safely in the middle of the pack. We expected to see big time speed from Marseille as he loops the entire field.
So Marseille leaves. That's expected. Everybody kind of knew that, right?
Yeah, going back to the respect thing, I think if Akey probably had that to do over, he would have followed me there.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like maybe grabbed up a little
He
bit.
put me back into the hole, but I really would have liked to have cut that race.
Oh, okay. So going.
I removed on him and he put me back in the hole, but I really think if I had have cut the race, he would have been at second at Green Shoe at least, but then it might have gotten even a little more attention.
Okay, so I see you move right here. Green Shoe tucks in.
We've got 2 long shots here, but Green Shoe is in such a perfect position. Brian Sears doesn't have to worry about being locked in. Nobody's coming. He closes the gap in
So
third.
you try to move right here, and he, because like, nope.
Go after the leader. Interesting move left right there by second place Forbidden Trade Bob McClure. He came to the outside to try and push the issue. He went back in, but we all know the big move from Green Shoe is coming imminently. And you will see that as we pick up the second half.
So you got Oak in front of you. Green. Do you know it's Green Shoe on your
Yeah,
back?
I knew it was, and I didn't like the situation I was in because I was relying on luck now because if Marseille walks and I never get out, we're not in the final.
Can you like just kind of edge out and just chill on the outside of Oka?
No, I don't think that's not the way you want to go through a first heat with a second heat. That's going to take a lot of horse.
If it was a final, maybe.
If it was a final, there's no way I would have gone back to the rail with him. No.
Oh, you would have retaken. You would have come hard.
I would have at the very least just sat for.
Just
a
sat.
stop,
Okay. Okay.
Well, once again, here is track announcer Ken Workington.
So now you're just like you said, relying kind of on luck. Green Shoe, take me to the head of the stretch and give me room.
Well,
I need room.
I need Marseille to take me to the head of the stretch.
Marseille, right.
But they, the really great thing about this is the trip worked out so that he used third and didn't use hardly any effort.
Sure.
So it saved a lot for the final. So it did end up working out.
You're gapping here a little bit. Is that by design?
I was trying to get myself a spot to be able to
Give yourself
sneak out.
some wiggle room.
Sometimes if drivers think you're all done on the inside, they'll give you some room because. So I mean, when I get out here on the NX back, I think I bump him across the helmet. He had a lot of horse left. And like up till here, he had never been used, and he exploded.
We get a nice view from Pilot Discretion, and right here in that last 16th of a mile,
he had the most go of anybody.
Just boom. Yeah. You could see that he. And you're not even really driving.
No, I never did ask him, not near him.
You kind of know that we're in the final, and a nice little confidence boost for the horse.
It was, yeah.
You know, I know it didn't work out for Guardian Angel in the Hambletonian, but he had kind of the same limb where he was flying at the rail. Unfortunately, he drew the 9-hole, and we all know what happened there. But he was the horse that everybody was like, like, look at that. He was pretty good.
I felt the same with Soul Strong. He was a very fast horse, and I was...
Dexter's horse, right?
Yeah,
he
I wasn't
has a 10-hole.
sure whether he'd show up big for the final.